Oh my god. Oh, okay. Whew. Snap the leg off and it pops right back on. That's cool. I'm good with that. I'm not paying this much for a figure and then break it. Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm going to take a look at the Bandai S.H.Figuarts Star Wars Clone Trooper. This is the Phase 1 Trooper. Fortunately, I hate to say unfortunately, but while this is a nice addition to the Figuarts line, we have a bunch of these in different colors from the Black Series line. And I'm not saying that, well, I don't even have it out of the package yet, so me saying that it's not comparable to the Black Series is jumping the gun a little bit. It just feels like we have this guy, let's get to the next. But I couldn't pass him up. I love troopers. Now the one thing about the Figuarts line, I don't care for packaging. I don't need it to be pretty. It could come in a cardboard box for all I care, a Ziploc bag. As long as I get my figure, I'm good. But I do like how compact this packaging is. It's just the figure, the weapons, the hands, and no wasted space. I like that a lot. The back shows some battle scenes, the figure, and then a bunch of stuff I can't read. The silver trimming, I like. It kind of pops out, and then not much on bottom. As far as packaging goes, I like this. It's not big, it's not bulky, it's not going to take up a lot of room in the recycling bin. Or if you're a carded collector, this doesn't take up a lot of room in your display on your shelf, however you display boxed figures. Me, I like them open. I'm going to open him up. I'm going to see what's going on here. And okay, there he is out of the package. And, oh, I have mixed feelings. I'm not quite sure how much I like this. I do like it. Something's fiddly about it. I guess in the articulation department. There's some stuff I like, there's some stuff I don't like. As far as sculpt goes, it's fantastic. It's kind of a harder material than we're used to with the Black Series, so it's able to get sharper detail, and there's just little added sculpt details that differentiates it from the Black Series. So that's kind of cool. You get kind of a different look to your trooper, or if you wanted to army build these, you get a completely different, aesthetic, I guess. It matches, but you can see little differences. And what little paint there is nice and clean. There's no slop, but most of the parts are cast in their correct color. One of the things I've grown to not like over the years are loose belts. I just don't care for them. They just flop around. They don't like to stay centered. I can see why they do it, to free up articulation, or, where the belt won't hinder the crunch. But I don't know, just loose parts hanging on a figure, that annoys me a little bit. And the proportions, the arms look slightly short. He looks stout. I don't know if that's just, my perception of it, or if I'm used to the Black Series Trooper. It just looks, kind of stumpy, just very, very slightly. Looking at the back, there's an exposed metal pin here. That's for the old school rocker ankle action in the foot. It doesn't have the forward-facing pin. It has the assembly that just rocks. That's kind of odd to see. I don't have a lot of Figuarts, so I don't know if this is common. I don't remember it on Luke, but I guess this was assembled afterwards. They just shove that metal pin in there and it stays. Now I'm going to hop right into articulation here because that's where kind of my gripe comes in the head. It's at the bottom of the neck, there's a ball, and then in the top of the neck, there's a ball. So you have dual points of articulation there. You can shift forward, you can shift back, you get some tilt both in the neck and in the head on the top of the neck. And then up, it's not great. Down is pretty good. The shoulders I like. There's a lot of range of movement. You can kind of shift it out so you can get all around. You can bring it up in front of him a little bit. You can't cross his body though. You can come across like this. But it looks kind of funky in some places, and that's where the shoulder pad articulation comes in. Now, it is on an arm, and it shifts out just like that. And at the end of it, the pad itself is on a kind of a ball joint. So you can put this thing pretty much anywhere you want. You can bring it all the way down, get it out of the way of the shoulder, pose the shoulder any way you want, and then shift the shoulder pad back into position. So I do like that. That's kind of nifty. The shoulder is a ball up in the body where you can get kind of a butterfly action, and then it has a hinge on the end for up and down. And with the shoulder pad the way it is, you can get him pointing pretty high up, just rotating the shoulder up. Then you bring it back down, shift it into position, put the shoulder pad back. He has a bicep swivel, swivels right at the top of the armor. The elbows, I thought maybe would have more range of movement than the Black Series. It doesn't. There's kind of a shift forward at the top of the elbow, but kind of get it in there, and it doesn't even get up to 90 degrees. So yeah, I don't like that. That's on top of the elbow pad, just kind of jutting out when you bend the elbow. It looks weird when you have it up like this. There's another rotation at the top of the forearm armor. You have a ball joint that rotates both below and above the wrist, and then there's a hinge inside of that. So depending on how you put the hand on, I have the right one set to go up and down, and then it rotates. And then I have the left one set to go side to side. The torso, you have a ball joint up top, or well, below the chest, and you have a ball joint at the waist. So you have rotation in two places, and then you have crunch, pretty good forward, pretty good arc back. The hips are another problem I do not like. The armor just gets in the way. You have a swivel, and then you have a hinge out. It gets out about that far. There's a thigh swivel, and without twisting it, you can only get about that far forward, this far back. Now, if you twist it at the thigh, you can get higher up, but that just looks weird. Now, in promotional pictures, they showed that he could get down in a one-knee stance. You can't really do that. I think they have the angle turned where the leg doesn't look as awkward. It looks like he's in a, down on his knee with this leg straight forward, but I don't think that leg is straight forward. When you do bring the leg up, you have to turn the armor, come up some more, and then bend the knee. So he's stuck kind of in a river dance pose, but they have it like this. And it looks right, but from the front, you can see that it's kind of jutting out. There's double knees, and again, the armor kind of gets in the way. He can't come all the way back. He has rotation at the ankle, and then there's a hinge there. Not a lot of range of movement. Forward, back. Like I said, he does have rocker ankle. It's a little hindered too. It goes in, out not so much, which looks awkward anyway, so that's okay. But he doesn't have a lot of in. And then toe joints. I didn't realize how much I missed toe joints. And I didn't even miss them. I didn't even like them when they were on Marvel Legends. But here, they're not so bad. When they're down, it's pretty much unnoticeable. It disappears into the... I do like the texture on the bottom of the foot. But it doesn't stick out. Accessories, he comes with 4 sets of hands. He has right and left trigger fingers, but they're not really trigger fingers. They're more pointing. And I don't know how much I like that. I want a little curve. I want his finger on the trigger. He comes with 2 kind of smaller grip hands for the pistol. He comes with 2 larger open grip hands for the rifle. And then he comes with 2 fists. Now for weapons, he comes with his large rifle. And this is made out of a harder material. So again, the details are nice and crisp. And it doesn't bow. And comparing that to the Black Series, you can see that there's just little hints of paint, the silver like rivets or screws, and then just the details overall just look better on the Figuarts. And he comes with his smaller pistol. Again, the silver pieces, just nice little added painted detail. The gripping hand for the weapons is closed. It doesn't open, but it's easy enough just to shove the handle down into the hand. And there you can see the trigger finger just kind of sticks out beside it. Now, here he is with the Black Series red Clone Trooper. I don't have a standard Clone Trooper from the Black Series anymore. I painted it blue to finish out the commanders. But you can see a definite size difference here. The Black Series is taller. It's just bigger everything. If you have them in action poses, it should look okay. You can offset the size difference. But standing at attention, straight line, you can get away with it. But yeah, it just looks, it throws my eye off. And getting down to brass tacks, really, the Black Series has slightly more range of movement in the elbows. That's weird to say, but it's, you know, there it is. It's not much, but it's just, I don't know, the armor just hinders the Figuarts. So at the end of the day, I'm happy I got this. In fact, I have another one coming. I have a pair. And so at least they'll match. I'm happy to have it, to give it a try. I like some of the articulation points, and I'm happy to have a clean trooper again to go with my Black Series commanders. But really, if it came down to it, I'm good with the Black Series figures. It's almost like with the troopers, the Figuarts figures run a little small, but it's weird because you can fudge Luke and Maul in. It'll be interesting to see what the First Order Stormtrooper does, or its size when it comes in. I'm also worried about Phasma. When it comes down to it, I'm probably going to keep my Black Series troopers on the shelf. These will kind of fill in the ranks with, you know, just no rank clones. Bandai has teased the commanders in the Figuarts line, but having this in hand, I don't think I'll go for it. It's kind of expensive just to buy another 4 versions of this same figure. The negatives kind of stack against it. Perfect world, though, I'd like to see the Clone Trooper in the Bandai model line, and then give us water slide decals with the different commander colors. Plus, the model kit line gets the size a little bit better. It's more in scale with the Black Series, and probably the rest of your shelf. So it'll go on the shelf. It's Star Wars. It's passable, but it's not my favorite clone. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. For someone like me, who doesn't build dioramas, wouldn't know where to start, but has always wanted something to backdrop their pictures, or, you know, just spice things up on the shelf a little bit, this is what I've been waiting for. Completely. My Star Wars shelf, although because of the height, I'll have to raise up the shelf above it a little bit, but these will work perfect behind the Empire figures, or just any figures you want. Han and Luke in Stormtrooper gear, Chewbacca. The space walls are what I have been waiting for since I got back into the 6-inch Star Wars game.